What's up? Joseph Morrison, aka Coil Locs, coming to you with another video. You know what this is. It's a Loc channel where I discuss Loc content. So if you are interested in that, hit the subscribe button, smash the like button, share it with a friend, you know, let them know about what's going on over here on the channel so we can all kind of be a part of this community. And today, well, you saw the thumbnail. It's been 11 months since I've been, you guys are, it's literally every month. Every month I'm like, are they gonna do it again? And you do it, it's 11 months, like I'm almost tired of it, you guys. I appreciate it. It's always you. You're always the one cheering the loudest. I don't get, how do you get tickets every single month? I don't get how you, who got this guy in here? Can we talk about who got this guy? Anyway, sorry about that. Anyway, yes, I'm 11 months locked and I am happy about it. It's pretty exciting. You know, I guess it's more exciting at this point because I'm closer to a year, right? Like in a few more weeks, I'll be a full year locked. And then you'll never see me again because I said after a year, I'm not gonna make any more I'm playing. I ain't going nowhere. It's still a pandemic, so I need something to do. But I'll still be around and I work a lot. But, you know, pandemic's been rough. Mentally, you know, it's been a tough year for all of us. But we're not here to talk about that. We're here to talk about the fact that I'm, boom, 11 months locked. See, it's right up there, 11 months, it says it, it's official. So what I'm gonna talk about in this video, just to kind of break things down, is you already know, if you've been watching my channel for a while now, we're gonna look at the hair, we're gonna take a closer look at what's going on up here, you know, give you the full rundown of what's been happening, what's been changing, what's new, what's not new, a lot of that. We'll also discuss my washing routine, my oiling routine, just my day-to-day routines of what I do with my hair, what I don't do with my hair, maybe some changes I've made in my routines, all that stuff. And I like to wrap things up just by discussing, you know, the mental and emotional side of things that goes into this whole locking process and this whole locking journey, because there's a lot of that too. And I don't think a lot of people talk about that, you know. You can talk about the logistics of what you need to do and the tasks at hand, but a lot of this journey is mental and emotional, and it's making those lifestyle adjustments, and it's people seeing you in a new light with this new hairstyle, and they're questioning your hairstyle, which makes you question your hairstyle. And so there's a lot of that. So we'll kind of discuss all that stuff to wrap things up. But you know, let's not waste any more time. Let's jump right into it. Come on. If you're new to the channel, we go over to the wall and we discuss and we do our whole thing. So let's go for a walk. Come on. Let's go for a walk. Yeah, let's do it. All right, we're at the infamous wall. Here we are, nice and clear. We can see everything. So let's go for that full 360, shall we? So this is exactly what it's looking like right now, okay? If you've been following my channel, you know that a lot of things are kind of the same. I guess some of the changes I would say that my hair is doing at this point is, well, just again, continuing to lock up further. For a lot of people out there who, like myself, thought your hair would lock up really, really quickly, you know, it actually takes a long time to fully mature. And I guess that's one of the things that I've learned the most on this process. Like, I just kind of thought like, oh, in 3 months your hair is fully locked. No, there's levels to maturity. And I think what I'm realizing is my locks are matured, right? Like, they're mature locks, but it continues to get tighter and the locks continue to lock and they continue to solidify. And you'll notice with my locks, like the ends, the tips of my hair, a lot of them are still kind of frayed, right? Like, even if we're looking at, let's say, I don't know, well, this one's not too bad, but I mean, you can see it, right? Like, there's a lot of locks that, especially at the tips, they're still very frizzy. A lot of hair is kind of sticking out and just kind of frizzing out all over the place. And I think for me, you know, I have a looser hair texture than you would think. If you look at the hair texture guide, you know, 1 is the loosest hair texture and 4c being the tightest, most coily hair texture. My hair texture is about a 3. I know it doesn't look like it in this case because obviously my hair is locked up at this point, but if you saw what my hair looked like in like an afro or something, you'd see it's actually a little bit straighter of a hair texture. So because of that, it just takes a little bit more time for a hairstyle or a hair texture like mine to fully lock up at the tips. So what I've been doing, I'd say like once every month and a half, I'll get my wife to go in with a crochet hook and she'll just crochet hook the ends of my hair just to kind of help to solidify it, help to keep the hair, help to get the hair to want to lock up at the tip specifically. But outside of that, like, this is what it is, you know, just the hair's growing, it's, you know, doing its thing. There isn't really much change, I would say, from my 10-month lock video, 9-month lock video. It's really just the process is still continuing, and it's just continuing to lock up more and more. And each month, I personally will notice those differences. For somebody that might see me month 10 to month 11, you might not see it, but there's little things that you'll notice and you'll feel with your hair that, you know, lets you know that the process is still working. So that's definitely one of the major pluses. And I guess outside of that, another thing, and you know, we'll touch on that when we talk about the oiling routines, which, let's get into that now. Let's have a seat. I've been on my feet all day. Come on, come on. All right, feels so good to sit down sometimes, you know? So let's discuss my oiling routine, washing routines, stuff like that. Now, let's start with our oils. So as far as moisturizing and oiling my hair, still pretty much the same thing. I oil and moisturize my hair at least once every day and a half. And there have been a few changes to that process. Now, typically, what I used to do is I would be oiling and moisturizing my scalp specifically, where I was really focusing on only putting oils on the scalp and things like that. What I've noticed over the course of, I'd say the last month and a bit, is that my scalp is pretty good. Like if I oiled it maybe once or twice a week, I'd be pretty good. You know, combining with the oils that I use and my natural oils that I produce, I find that my scalp and my hair now kind of just understands what I'm doing. It gets that I have locks, and it's started to, I guess, produce oils to kind of help moisturize my hair as needed now. I guess you can say my scalp is a part of the process now, where it's not rebelling against what we're doing. Everything up here is working together, which is a beautiful thing. So that's helped me to not have to oil my scalp specifically as much. I still do it every 1 to 2 days, 2 to 3 days sometimes. But what I am finding now though is my actual locks will feel a little bit dry sometimes. So what I have started doing is doing a little bit of light spritzing of oils to my locks. So I've started doing once or twice a week, well, I'd say 2 to 3 times a week, I'll oil my scalp still, just because also just I'm used to that process, I'm used to that habit, but I'll do that. And I'll now spritz my locks once or twice a week as well to kind of keep my locks feeling moisturized, not feeling, you know, like brittle or anything like that. They just feel healthier when I do that. Now, as far as the oils that I use, when it comes to oiling my scalp, I use the same combination I've used pretty much my whole journey. I use jojoba oil as my sealant, I'm using peppermint oil, I'm using tea tree oil, and I'm using lavender oil as my essential oils to add into that jojoba oil. So I have my mixture of those 4 oils when it comes to moisturizing my scalp. And the reason for that is, you know, tea tree oil kind of helps to mitigate the itching feeling or that scratchy feeling that you get. And the peppermint oil and the lavender oil are really good soothing oils. They help to calm the hair and the scalp. And also, it just smells really good. You know, it smells really good in your hair to have those essential oils. And there's also other properties that those oils do, but those are predominantly why I put them in my hair. And the jojoba oil, which is the sealant, is what I use because it's a very light oil and it's very close to the natural oils that your body produces. So it's not a super thick oil that, you know, is gonna cause a lot of buildup in your hair. It's just a very user-friendly oil that I believe in and has done wonders for my hair, so I stick with it. As far as the oil mixture that I use to spray my locks, I use jojoba oil again because, again, it's a very light oil. You don't want to be using super thick oils for any of these things. And I guess that's been my experience because my scalp doesn't need that. If you're somebody whose scalp is chronically dry, maybe a thicker oil will benefit you. Definitely go check out my other video where I talk specifically about oils and kind of break down all the different oil types that there are that would be beneficial for your scalp or your lock journey. But for me, for the spray, I use the jojoba oil, and in it I use rosemary oil, which I love. It has a good smell to it. And again, it's just another great soothing oil that helps just to benefit the properties in my hair. So yeah, it's pretty much what I do for my oiling process. And although for my scalp, as I said, I'll do about 2-3 times a week where I go in and I oil my scalp and I spritz my hair once or twice a week. Those numbers can fluctuate. I mean, really the truest or the most accurate answer I can give you is I do it when it's needed. And I think that just comes with experience and that comes with time of understanding your scalp and your hair and how your locks feel and what feels off and when to apply these oils. But for me, the real answer is when I feel it's necessary is when I go in and do my thing, right? And it's kind of the same for my washing routine. I try to stay pretty consistent with that. Now it's just straight up every 2 weeks, I wash my hair.
Cool.
Boom, plain and simple. Wash my hair every 2 weeks, that's it. And the one product that I use is from the Design Essentials line, same product I've used for the entire locking process. It is their oat protein and henna. It's my favorite, it smells good. It doesn't have any crazy additives or anything like that. It's a very, very healthy and a very organic shampoo that I use, and it just makes my scalp and my hair feel great when I use it. And what I will say also with that is, when I wash my hair, you don't want to just wash your hair like one scrub and you're done. You know, you want to scrub your hair. You want to go in maybe 2 or 3 times to lather up your hair. Usually I go in the first time just to kind of get a base coat of my locks and my scalp, and I'm finding that this is more applicable as my hair gets longer and as my locks are more matured. Because think about it, the more matured your locks are, the easier it is for buildup to get now into your locks and kind of stick into your locks in places that you can't really see them and you can't really feel them, because if you feel your hair, you can feel your lock, but you can't feel like inside the lock, right? So earlier on in my locking journey, you could see buildup. It's very easy, and my hair was a lot shorter and it wasn't locked up as much. So it would be easier to see when you need to wash your hair and where the buildup is and what areas you need to focus on. But as your hair gets more matured, it's more important to do a more thorough washing. So what I do is I'll go in with my shampoo and I'll do 1 coat just to kind of lather everything up, rinse out a lot of that, just rinse out, I guess, a lot of that base level of dirt or buildup. I'll go back in with the 2nd coat, which usually lathers up a lot more because you've kind of rid your hair and your scalp of that first layer of quote-unquote dirt or any kind of excess buildup that's there. That 2nd lather is a lot thicker, and I'll really go into my scalp with that 2nd lather. And then I'll go in with a 3rd lather and I'll do more of my hair. So I'm really kind of squeezing through the hair, scrubbing through the hair, and because my locks are more matured now, I can do that. When I was 2-3 months in the game, when my locks weren't fully mature, I was being very delicate with how I washed my hair. I was focusing more just on the scalp, but now I kind of wash my hair like I used to wash my hair prior to my lock journey, which has been great. So yeah, 3 lathers, rinse it all out. I pat dry it with this cloth that I use pretty much, and I'll kind of wrap my hair up, and then I just let it do its thing. I let it dry out that way. I'll take that cloth off, I'll put my oils on my hair, and we're good to go. So that's pretty much it for my washing routine. A lot of these routines now are so routine that, I don't know. This video almost feels, it's kind of like all the other videos that they've seen, but this is the process, it becomes something that's very just mundane to you. Now I know as a viewer, and if you're starting your lock journey, or you just started your lock journey, you're probably watching this video like, okay, okay, yeah. Because that's what I was doing, you know what I mean? So I understand how it can be helpful. But that's pretty much it as far as your routines go, it really isn't more eventful than that for me and from my experience. And as far as the last thing in terms of the mental and emotional sides of things, not much change there, to be honest. Things have been pretty good for me, I guess, in that regard. And I'm just, again, waiting for more length, waiting for it to get longer. I'm very happy with my locks. I don't ever have temptations of wanting to cut my locks. I will say this, the one thing that I've thought about doing, and this is even before I started my locks, was putting color in my locks. So that's a discussion we'll have more down the road. I'm not there yet. I always said once I get to that 1-year mark is when I would put color in my locks. So as I get closer to that mark, I'm kind of like, am I still gonna do it? Like, I'm kind of always gauging that, but we'll see. As of right now, probably not right now, or even at the 12-month mark, but pretty soon I might dabble with a little bit of color. We'll see. But that's really it. There isn't really much to report as far as the mental and emotional side of things go. Things are pretty good. I guess one thing I can say is, now that I'm basically 1 year in, I'm starting to think about how long I want to keep my locks. I'm starting to think about, having seen pretty much a year of this lock journey, I'm starting to be like, okay, so at 2 years, my hair will be twice this long, right? Like, I'm just starting to play that game and seeing how I'll feel about it and things like that. But I think that's just more me planning, having a planning mindset, I guess. But as far as the journey goes, it's been great. So I'll say this, if you have any questions, please leave them in the comments below. It's been really cool to engage with you guys and discuss any questions you have, or even comments that you guys have given me, which has been helpful for myself as well. But yeah, I love to chat, I love to talk. Feel free to subscribe, like, and share this video. It really helps, so I would appreciate if you would do that. Just smash that subscribe button. It doesn't cost anything. And it keeps you up to date with what's going on. Other than that, I'm out of here. And the 12-month video is gonna come, well, a month from now. So that'll be pretty cool. What I'm actually gonna do for that video is highlight the entire journey. So we'll kind of have pictures and videos. It might be a little bit longer of a video, so you know, get your popcorn ready, but pictures and videos of the whole process. So it'd be a good time to subscribe, tell a friend, let them join the channel because it's gonna be a fun one. But stay tuned. As always, I'll have more videos coming out for you guys weekly. And yeah, keep it locked. And as for me, Kojo Locs, signing out. Peace and love, y'all.